Okay, I'm at 20 pip grid here. I'm just going to do short video slices into the opening of the Dow Jones, which is the most important thing, where the cash meets the everything comes together. And there's this huge jockeying for position just before the opening of the Dow Jones, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Because you're coming, old school meets new school. And Bitcoin's going to get its ass kicked. Bitcoin's done. 5,000. It's going to be hysterical. And Bitcoin, the CME's got a hold of it. We just see them just drag it down into some malaise of clusterfuck, like what's been going on here with the Eurodollar last week is pretty much a range trader's dream. I mean, you can't go wrong range trading that. Now, that's a different mentality than trend trading, I think, especially if you're on the 4-hour chart, it's a range trade. If you're on the 1-hour chart, it's a trend trade. If you're on the 15-minute chart, it's a trend trade into the top of the crush zone of each wick. So there's a real battle at the wick zone, and that's really the lowest risk trading that you'd probably ever do. But you probably won't get filled for like 16 fucking hours. 30 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours to get filled. But count if you're going to run a very tight stop, and then you're going to run multiple orders up there. So you have to have something to make 20 pips, something to make 30, something to make 40. You can't go for the home run. You're never going to see this big vacuum here that filled. So 20 pip grid, trying to make 20 pips with 10 pip stop. That's it. Moving average set to 1. Bar is the big kahuna range. No mention of open here because that's ridiculous, in my opinion. It's a 5-second window. So it's another beat. It's like having a echo when you're trying to, you put the special effects on later. Open to close to me is just, plus it's just a reminder that you missed the fucking open. Who wants that, right, in their life? Great. Thanks. I mean, I could have got in there. If you've ever traded, so this is why non-confirmation trading, you need to have a risk that you can handle, because that's your confirmation that you're only risking X. Confirmation of direction is different than confirmation of risk. Confirmation of risk makes you fearless because you know it only costs X to get there. If it costs you $50 to drive to work and you're going to make $100, okay, this is if the spread was 5 pips and you're trying to make 10 pips. Spread's 5, you're trying to make 10. Imagine a worst case scenario, worst conditions of anything. And that's what you're looking at. What is the fucking worst case scenario for any business? I mean, if trading's a business, and trading is like, I suppose you would do better with a trading partner in some regards, because if he's a trend trader and you're a range trader, then so you got a perfect fit, right? Now, if you're able to be straight and gay, switch back and forth, that's about as hard as it is, I think, to adopt somebody else's trade plan. So, you see people doing even a Williams fractal. That's wonderful. I'm glad that your fucking stupid ass charting could identify a turn in the market. Well, fucking duh. It's all, as they say, hindsight. Could somebody please fucking give me the trade plan for a fractal? I can. Look for the last fractal and place your order banks in there. They have to be banks of orders. You can't play this game. Show me a house with one outlet, one switch. Where's the house? I mean, maybe a tiny home. New tiny home, right? Come in, hit one breaker, bam, whole thing's on. It's like a fucking Vegas show, right? Everything's incremental. Why would this be any different? Any trades on here that you see, you're like, oh shit. If I only would have loaded up on that trade. Well, you can't do that. Nobody fucking opens the store and puts one goddamn item in it and goes, dude, that item's worth like $10 million. You want it? What are you, fucking nuts? It's completely, even for the richest person in the world, why would they blow money? Why would they risk $100,000 per trade if they didn't have to? What is the fucking window? Okay, you're going to risk $300 per trade? Holy shit. You better be in the market for a very short period of time, because the market is... Time's not your friend. It's your friend. I mean, if you don't believe you can get rich quick, when you're getting rich quick, you won't believe it and you'll get out. Or you'll think that you can do that again. That's the only two things that are going... That's the fork in the road for the torture of that trade. You're either going to... You're always going to wish you would have put more in that trade, or run a tighter stop, or you're going to say, I should have let them stop me out, let them fill the next bank. I should have. All should have right here. I think we're going to blow out this top here. I don't think this is going to sell off. So this is accumulation possibly. If we breach this price here today, up in here, as my tequila buddy says, think about it. Now that's 60 pips away. 60 pips from where we're at, right? Even to that point, you make 60 pips if you bought right now. Would you buy right now? Why not? How much did you buy? So this is the whole problem. I don't understand why people are even commenting and criticizing my video. If you can post a demo video of you fucking trading, a fucking demo video of you trading, and you can make the market calls, what does it matter? If I risk $10 on that trade, put 100 pips stop on that fucking 1K there, buddy. $10 we're talking about. If you told that to somebody that doesn't know anything about scalping, and like, I mean, in other words, if you took somebody and said, well, for about $20 a week, you could trade Forex, big monster fucking stops, swing shit stops. Risk 20 to make 40. Don't even tell the motherfucker what's going on. Oh yeah, you want to put, yeah, you want to see this doji here. Oh, you're gonna want to have orders down here. Got more money? Put orders where these stops are. Got more money? Put orders at this area. 20 pips stop, risking $20. I'm sorry, it's only $2 on 1K. But if you were a pig, right? Imagine just a complete pig. Most people are pigs, and let's face it. They might. So if you've got a bunch of money, you just get a nicer car, nicer clothes, but you're still a pig. Pigs on the wing. But here's the 3-pip window. But imagine you are going to risk, you tell somebody it's $2. This is like lottery. I mean, it's so hilarious because it's like lottery shit, right? But these people play these fucking lotteries, and they got a new one here that's cracking me up. I'm sitting up having breakfast with these guys, and guys got $50,000, you win tax-free. Really? Now we're talking like the lottery tickets straight up. Here you go. You can go get your hookers now. We got 10 minutes before the Dow opens. But yeah, this puppy looks ready to pop up some more. Now, your tactics during the last week had to have been completely anti-trend. Unless you consider, and just for anybody's trend ideas, at this point right here, this inverted hammer, we have a very small vacuum, right? This very tight bar. So when you see a small bar, this is how stupid trading is. I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody's ego, but there's a really small inside bar, they call them. This is old school mechanical trading. A very small inside bar. It's not working out, is it? Nothing's easy as it looks. I guess I'm in too tight. Let's see, chunks over. Can't set the snap. The snap's set to oh shit, 0. But that's tight. Anyways, this vacuum here, 20 pip vacuum, what 40 pip vacuum fills. So vacuums are constantly being created. Here's a tremendous vacuum above and below. They fill the top one, come back, completely satisfied with that fill. But now this is actually a bigger vacuum because it spent more time on the other side of town, so to speak. It's back and forth. This is that's what they call. This is why people use oscillators. But now, if you're an RSI guy, somebody asked me about RSI. What do you use? 3, this and that. What's your trade plan? This is the way I view RSI. If you were a person that traded on stop entry, what you would do is take your RSI, set it to the highs. You're going to monitor. This is taken from Alexander Elder has something called bull and bear power. All he's done is taken the high and compared it to the close. So he's created 2 histograms, 2 MACDs. He's created a moving average convergence divergence based on the highs, which is the bull power, and the lows, the bear power. Now, if you'd run RSI in here, you can only imagine if I have a divergence in the lows and I'm going to enter on a stop entry, that robot or that method or that way you approach the market is going to be that. Your trade plan dictates, your entry style dictates, I think, what kind of trade you're going to do. If you put on buy stops, well, I think you're waiting for the market to simmer down because you really are. And how close is your buy stop to the market? As soon as you meet those 2 things, it's like the football games where they have the camera on the guide wires. If anybody's seen football lately, it's all like fucking high tech shit. Well, or Etch a Sketch. As soon as you change that one axis, you fucked with the other thing now. Like, are you 3 pips away? Are you 10 pips away? If you got in 10 pips away, you're saying, I've got a wide stop. I don't give a fuck. I'm not scalping. I mean, I always think scalping is maybe 5 to 40 pips, but it's going to happen very quickly. The time window's compressed. I don't know if the pips, you can make 80 pips scalping, I suppose. I mean, when the market explodes on the news and you get that right, and it's literally what it is. The problem with when the news comes out, the spreads get wide and the market is smashing them up and down so hard that if you have money in that, it's as if you went to the racetrack and all of a sudden one of the races out of nowhere was very fast. I mean, the horses were a blur, and you actually have to just read the numbers at the end. You not get to watch the race. So when the market's in a pace that seems like completely logical for your view of how much money per hour you're getting slammed or making money, there's got to be some previous framework for your assessment of what $100 is, what it's worth in time. And if you actually end up, keeping yourself at $200 a day, making $200 a day, if you think, it seems about it. Like if I push it, I'm going to overtrade it. This is when you have to change the math, because if you're going to pull those triggers the same way, and you're going to drive that car in the same way, and then you're going to change the differential in the back. But maybe if you drive multiple cars, and each car has its own task, this car's for scalping, this car's for a long-term trip. This accounts for a long-term trade, this accounts for scalping. You don't have to, the problem is the market's too compelling. It's always there. Ronnie Laws. It's always there. So that's the problem. And of course, look at this whole week compressed here. This is really, but see here, you can see the RSI would have gave you divergence, or it's just giving you a blatant. You could also have, if you're just a person. Okay, here's the problem. If you've ever traded before, your brain's fucked, in a way. If you've never traded before, maybe you haven't done any damage, because if you've lost and won any kinds of monies in the market, I guess that's legal speak. But, you know, this is what's the problem. Right? Because, like, I remember I did that trade. A lot of people will never do a trade again because they did it that way. It's like they would never date a redhead again because, you know, the day they dated her, turned out she had underwear bomb, you know, something. It was like, oh, he was a terrorist. Oof. Never do that again. So all these things definitely don't help. And if you're expecting this thing to keep going up, so many false attempts, expecting it to break down, so many false attempts. It's painfully obvious to see here as you look back, all the people that were just like, oh, when we take this out, it's going to hell. Oh yeah. Well, it went down like 40 pips. That's not bad money. You'd hardly notice your spread at 40 pips. You know, you could run 15 pip stop to make 40 pips here. You could run a 10 pip stop to make 30 in these kind of moves. I mean, it's just not, now we're breaking out. So here comes the infamous stock market. And so I guess the big buy here was to buy the stop punt of this wick. That's if your spread was tight enough, they would have filled you here. 5 pip window maybe. Now the more aggressive traders are going to buy this very popular price right here. And they will take this plunge, gobble up the tickets coming into this plunge. Okay, you have a big nest of limits sitting in a 20 pip box here. It's your breaker box. All right, comes in. You can put any metaphor on this market you want. It's an aerial football game. They got the ball. They're going to run it this way. I mean, if I was going to explain how to get somebody that's a football fanatic to trade, I call this the what is that, Madam? That's John. I don't know anything about football, but the fucking, you know, this is some rock star fucking runner, quarterback, whatever the fuck. Pass the ball, catch, you know. And this is all the fumble shit. This is all the fuck nuttery that goes on in a football game. Okay, this is typical shit, right? Here's the run. Here's like, oh yeah, remember when he got that big run. You know, he's just fucked. He broke his leg. Yeah, of course. But you got to be able to be okay with that. And then you trade around it with your trade plans. Sure, I suppose you want to fantasize fucking a bikini top, triangle, bikini top, Gartley pattern on that. Sure, go for that too, right? But in the meantime, you know, come on, right? Now this thing is just itching the bus through the roof. Now, if you look at the weekly, you're like, oh, I don't see anybody selling. Not to mention, if we get up here, what do you think is going to happen at this wick? Now, definitely sellers are coming in at 125. Anything above 125 psychologically, you got to figure, here's 125, which is the closing price where there's a big, here's the quintessential bottom becoming top. Well, we all knew about that. That's going to be a real battle zone there, just about 125. It's 124.50, 125. And look at this. The guy that sold at 125 and held it like a true goober, how many pips could he have made? Is this the trap? Oh, looks hindsight. No, dude, when this was happening, go back to my videos. I talked about this fucking thing. I said, look at these it's going to par. Oh, yeah, it's going to par. Yeah, you and my wife. So, my buddy had a band called You and My Wife. He could have been somebody. He used to drive Chad Smith to work, so that's his claim to fame. If he tunes into my channel, if you somehow came across my YouTube channel, he'd be. But here we go. Yeah, I drove him to drum lessons. He's all pissed off. Here we go, Euro up. So, how big are you in this trade, and have you been long since down here? Well, stock market's open now. Look at how we leave the gate here. This is the we're just about to take out the high of the day. Okay, so these trades go on all day. But now this is another thing that occurred to me, and then I'm gonna let you go. back to as you were. But the thing is that it was funny because I thought to myself, which pips would you rather make? Say you wanted to make so many pips per every 4 hours. I don't know what this rate of change is here, but say you were in this trade, and or you were in any of these trades to make 40 pips, right? So are these 40 pips? Okay, so you had the peace of mind on a 15-minute chart. Like the goober in you was able to identify this doji, so you put a sell limit in here, and you just picked this up, right? And you got on that train, and you made it to, say, here. Are those pips worth any more than the exact same amount of pips here, or here, or here? Of course, these happen quicker. Look at this rate. This is the rate of change. If this is how much you want to make, okay, you got to backward engineer it. I want to make 20 pips in an hour, whatever that. No, this is, I guess this is 15, half hour, 45, 1 hour. This is 1 hour. I want to make 20 pips in 1 hour. I want to make $200 an hour. You're a standard lot, super tight stop. Hit the button, boom. Hit the button, boom. That's all I'm saying. Right? Well, you're in a demo. Dude, you want to make 40 pips and give yourself 4 hours. That's your trade. It's a trade you missed. You never made it there. Okay? This is what you have to tell yourself. I mean, it's just to talk without a trade plan is just completely stupid. We all know where the market's going. It's going up and down. It's up, it's down. Look at this 20 pip. Look at how it respects the 20 pip handles. Or look how you can say this is 18 pips. I could make 10 pips. I have a 10 pip stop. So I'm trying to make 20. My stop's here. I bought it to 20. 10 pip stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades you missed there. And I say missed because I don't think a lot of people, I didn't trade that. In other words, the reason why I don't like to look left is I just see all the money I didn't make. It's fucking retarded. Trading is just literally, I mean, I could get a fucking 10-year-old to just fucking mix. I would just write the scripts for him. He'd have an 8, 5, 6 pip script. I go down, Johnny. Buy, buying a stop, buy at the market, buying a stop. I'd have him press a button that puts in 10 pip limits to last for a half hour. Hey, Johnny, hit the fucking button every half hour. So you're getting in other words, not all your revenue comes through one giant funnel in your dream mind of, like, I got this one client, he wants me to put in 500 units. I've only had 1 unit. So, okay, now you're just, and now you're going to go, here we go. See, 5-minute guys are coming in now. To the moon, Alice. Now, we're probably going to go take out the high of last week. Fucking done. Now, this is where, if you're not in, could you get in now? Well, what? In other words, are you going to buy a... Would you buy now? Of course. On the 1-minute chart, yes. And look at where you're going. Yes. I'd buy now. How much? Not very much, because I could smash it back at any moment. Any moment. If anybody's traded before, anybody's seen the markets? But when I say trip this, sellers are definitely coming in as soon as we trip this. So how do you position yourself sidewise? And if you're afraid of the trade, then just don't trade it. If you just trade a 1K and you go, oh, that's what that's like. Okay, I see. And you could sell a 1K or buy a 1K. They just tripped the sellers right there. You see that? Somebody's short and they're up because they sold the vacuum here. The edge of the vacuum. Now, what point are they going to go, uh-oh, Well, they probably already taken their profits. If they're big, giant size scalpers, they got out because if their ratio, if their stop is here, okay. So watch, you don't have to trade. People that are like, no, I'm trading with real money every day. Why? If you just made $1 million, if you just made a bunch of money, you don't have to trade. If trading was for you to make money, mission accomplished. In other words, if you married that girl and you're divorced, you could remarry her. I guess that's the problem with trading. You remarry the thing because it keeps okay. Now this bears are running for cover now. Now you don't have to be on. I'm on the 30-minute chart, and you could buy now, or add to your. So you can actually sit here and build a position. Now imagine you could hit this button every 8 seconds and build 100K long here. Why in the fuck do people think they got to pull the trigger on a goddamn? Would you bring 80 tanks to a knife fight? Like you got the Sherman tanks, Tiger tanks, whatever. Biggest tank is? No. So, anyways, that's how that goes. And look at, they're going to crush it through north. So, huge fucking. Now this would be psychotic. But like I said, this is 20 pip grid. Are those pips worth any more than the other pips that you made on all? No. It's just more dramatic pips because we might just about take out the high of the year and just keep screaming. Once we get past this, and I gotta believe sellers are coming in up here, right? So I'm not even, so any fuckhead that's telling me you're on a demo, I'm not even trading this right now, okay? I'm just talking about it. I got another project going on here. So this is your, it's just hysterical that people that don't understand that all these pips are worth the same amount of money. I mean, all these, like that. This is the sellers came in. Like that. Duh. So you're going to have to be on the 1 minute chart. Okay, double bottom on the 1 minute chart. That trade's kind of over, right? Now maybe you're buying. Now on another screen, you got to be aware of the other time frame. That's 4-hour wick from way back. If you fix the scale, if these fucknuts they're criticizing my videos, if you do nothing, fix the scale on your system so you can see what the fuck is going on in the big picture. We're back to 2014 prices, cutting in on the weeklies up into this psychotic fucking top. Yeah, so look at them crush it, and that could be it. Oh, obliterating these fucking bulls. Buyers should come in here. How big are you in these fucking trades? This is the whole point. Fuck you at the, oh, you're in a demo. Dude, what are you doing? Are you trading the 1 minute chart? Are you 1 minute chart? Let me see you trade the fucking market. If I'm full of shit, you must have, if you made it to the internet, of course I'm assuming a lot. If you made it to the internet, you can surely cut in and look at, here's a pro tip. Free video recording, screen recording. This is how I did it. So my claim to fame is I did a Google search. And I start off at Screen-O-Matic, just recording shit. And just going, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm doing. These are ideas. I mean, but of course, I mean, it's just, people are just so crazy about it, you know. That was a great buy right there. If you bought that stop hunt there, anybody catch that? Fucking beautiful. Look at that shit. Look at even, well, it didn't quite hit this wick, but it went below the double bottom. Okay, but these are like nano patterns. People, I'm a pattern trader. On 1 minute chart, you better have your hand on the fucking trigger, ready to get out of this shit. Look at this stop hunt. Right into this fucking shaved bottom. Huge vacuum fill. Look at this vacuum fill. You could have shorted this thing. Look at this distribution phase here on the 1 minute. But see, it's all fractal. I mean, like, seriously? Like, you got a trade plan for, oh yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, but, dude, the size. Are you in $1 million position? Well, you know, you're only going to make like 20 cents on that trade if you're in a 1K. Huh. But I'll make $200 if I wait 3 weeks in the trade. Yeah. So take those two numbers in your fucking head. To these idiots that are commenting about my videos, dude, it's not about trading. I mean, it's not about call yourself a trader. It's not about, dude, anybody can drive a car. It's not about driving a car. It's about not hitting mailboxes. Okay, anybody, if I gave you $1 million car, doesn't mean you're not going to crash it. There's no correlation between the fucking car, between the size of your trading account, or the fact that you can be a moron, like a real guy. Because this is the problem with guys trading. Fucking idiots. I mean, they're Ralph Crampton, I suppose. Trailer Park Boys, you know. But you know, this is the thing, and that's also the sad thing about I don't know, people getting together. So they just enable each other, I suppose. So life's a do-it-yourself project, trading's a do-it-yourself project. Nobody would ever, in fact, yeah, I mean, it's just it's ridiculous to even try to explain stuff, because you don't know what the other person knows. And if you have to have an orientation where you lay the groundwork of saying, you can't think, if the business is the business of making money, you've got to think in terms of money and how much and where does your amygdala, whatever, where does your reptilian brain become triggered? What is the dollar threshold for you to become triggered to distort reality, for you to hallucinate? But the hallucination, I suppose, is protecting you, right? Because it's giving you a fantasy world that you can just think you're in a dream, like, so you can go not feel the pain. There's ways. I mean, there's hypnotic dentistry. There's, you know, hypnotic. Well, there's people just getting massaged there. Here we go. So they stop 100 all the way to here. Now you're in the 1 minute chart, so you would have completely. If you told somebody this is a 15-minute chart, how do you trade a 15-minute chart as opposed to a 1 minute chart? Well, if you're looking at the big picture, only 15 minutes has gone by. Now, you'll be like, wow, man, wish I would have sold there. They're killing me. Now, that's the 1 minute view. If I go to the 4-hour view, we're still have potential to take out and just keep crushing. So this is what I'm saying. If you, but nothing else, find the spread on the 4-hour chart. The spread's going to near zero here. This is evolved markets. This is like you'd be paying commissions here. So see, the spread is not helping you. This tight spread stuff is just, that's another fantasy thing. Tight spread. Oh, you're going to trade the 1 minute chart, are you? Like, I guess you could. You'd be selling right now, right? You bought the trap, sell. Get ready to buy. Every 15 seconds, you're making a decision. Do I want to build a position here? Okay, this is why. And so when I'm streaming, guys are like, well, you're kind of like, yeah, because if I stream this video and I'm trading my real money, I'm streaming, I'm trading the demo, I'm here, I'm this, that, you know, it's like, dude, you try that. Go for it. Got Dick Fox. Why are you buying? It's overbought. Dude, how big you in these fucking trades? Like, it's like putting a drone out there as opposed to you getting a fucking chopper and doing that gig. It's one thing to put a drone up in the sky, dude. Put a micro lot up there. It's a whole nother thing to run a goddamn fucking full tilt chopper with old school cameras and go up there. Okay, and do that shot. You want to do that shot? You pay me? I'll do that shot. I talked to a bunch of fuckers, hope they're not hammered, they can make it to the gig. Blah-de-de-blah. So, anyways, that's what I'm thinking. And you know, look at that 1 minute chart. There's, even on the 1 minute chart there's multiple ways to play it. You pretty much have to trade it at the market. The stop entry would be ridiculous. I would trade it on limits and at the market. Probably on limits, half at the market, because, like, who couldn't see this was a problem? There's the doji. Anytime you see the market hesitate, and he zigzags a doji. Or it's a bullish, doji, bull, doji, bear, bull. It's very, there's only three things, man. Fuck all this other, oh, well, that's 3 marching dildos. No, it's not necessary. Like, okay, that's a hammer. And it's also, it's a turn, but a doji means two. The next thing is a 1-2 punch. This is a correction in Elliott wave, or it's 1-2, you're expecting 3. It's either an ABC or 1, 2, 3. It's either A, B, is all you know is A and B. This is stem. So here's the stem of the fractal, or it's going to be 1, 2. It's either A, B, or 1, 2. That's, and even Gartley people would understand that. But to extrapolate 2 giant triangles on there and hang them off as shit with Fibonacci is completely, utterly fucking retarded, in my opinion, because you're picking a pinpoint entry in a market that's a clusterfuck of shit. See, the sellers, you would have sold up there, because this is the bottom becoming a top. Now we expect them to go lower. We put in buy limits here. So you go to your buy limit orders. And I don't know if I have it much in this one. Is this it? Okay, this is a single drop. Okay, so here's your buy limits. Right, you're going to buy low. And you're just going to buy this whole vacuum. You think it's going up. You want to get on the party, but they're not letting you on. So I'll buy. No, I think they're going to crush it. I think they're going to stop Hunter here, so I put in buy limits. It's simple. Now, how much money am I risking? Okay, I'm risking, these are dollar drops, so that means that this is a 5K. And I think these are set up to be buy stops, so I can put a buy stop here. And I could trade inside the spread, I think, here too. So that's a market order, in essence. I could either pull the trigger at the market, but for me to do that, I've got to go over and hit the buy at the market key. Got to reach over, spill my coffee, and put on this, hit this button. Okay, so that's something I don't, but yeah, double bottom, down, buy, sell. So cash out. I'm out. Scalp that. I don't know what I made, but I'm gonna get right back in. I got buy limits pending right beneath me here. Pretty astounding, huh? Like right here, buy limits. Hello. Now this is the tightest stop is 10, and here's my same amount of dollar risk. This is linear dollar risk. I got I think it might be in the thing there, but it's not hard to crack the code on that. That's just saying I'm going to buy a 2K with a 25 pip stop. I'm going to risk $5. So every time I drop this, as long as there's $500 in the account, I can drop this 100 times. And these are all set to, I think, 8 hours. No, they're set all day. All day long. I published this over on that Discord channel. I put it in the script thing. It's called $5 drops. Or no, I don't know. Fuck. It's in that high tail thing. Okay, now it looks like they're going to ramp it up now. So I can either chase it and buy at the market, or I can wait for one more smash back, and we're coming into the 10 a.m. and you've seen this story before. Anyways. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it, and that's about it.